about a 10-day stay. We were to be accommodated in a 3-star hotel in Harare. As Jane Rowell said, but think Zimbabwean 3 stars. The rest of the time, we were given hospitality in people's homes. I stayed with a white Zimbabwean couple, Bill and Marion Rice. Bill is an elder currently in pastoral charge of the Greencroft congregation in Harare, and it was nice to stay with them in their relatively comfortable home. Then I went to stay with the Reverend David and Mrs. Pauline Mushaya Van Hu and family in the very poor Chitungwiza area, about 15 kilometers south of Harare. These are poor people, poor ministers, living in a devastatingly poor community. They constantly and routinely make something out of nothing. They make something lovely out of the horror that is their daily circumstances. It was moving to be offered hot water every morning so that I could wash, because that's what I'm used to. She had to get up, did Pauline, and find wood to make the fire for me to have hot water. I felt ashamed of myself and my Western standards, but their generosity waved it all away. They were a lovely, hard-working, Christian-hearted couple, and their home was a welcome to many people in and around the area. But it was poor. It was poor. It was poor. To go from there, for the final night before we caught the flight back to the UK, we were back to our hotel, or so I thought. But because of BA strikes at the time, the people in our rooms at the hotel hadn't moved out. So the hotel had arranged for us to stay in a partnered hotel elsewhere in Harare, and it turned out to be the luxurious 5-star Rainbow Towers Hotel and Conference Center. I have to say, not at the United Reformed Church's expense, at their expense, because the hotel couldn't give us the rooms they'd promised us. But to go from David and Pauline's humble hovel with the kindness and generosity to this monstrous extravagance, with air conditioning and expensive furnishings, with free giveaways, luxurious restaurants, and every convenience that anybody could want in the highest grade hotels anywhere in this world. I learned that this hotel was all but next door to ZANU-PF headquarters, and that the party held their annual conferences there, and it's where the government often entertain Western visitors so that they know what Zimbabwe today is really like. I would like to take them somewhere else, and I would also like to think that those who have governance of these people were close to the people they governed, for it's sadly true that the rather wealthy and the very powerful have to live behind high barricades, concrete walls, barbed wire surrounds, and with armed guards. You wonder who are the free and who are the liberated. It is a complicated and difficult story. But again and again, we find in this context that people are making something out of nothing the whole time. There's no currency, there's no economy in a coherent sense, there's no, as it seems to me, real government that meets to the poor and rural people. But they say, we have nothing, we make something of it. We look to each other, we look to God. And there's a strong sense of community among the world's poor in my experience there. It makes me wonder, are we perhaps an over-resourced people? Are we perhaps over-resourced as churches? That was my strange experience of hospitality in Zimbabwe. And with your permission, moderator, just a few final words of thanks. May I do that, please? First of all, thanks to all around the United Reformed Church and beyond, whose invitations gave me the privilege of these 2 amazing years, allowing me to experience the life of our very ecumenical, very community-focused, very world-aware, very deeply Christ-centered and gospel-engaged churches and people. It's been an enthralling part of my own personal Christian pilgrimage. To my wife Jackie, who has been my encouraging and discerning accompanist throughout, and sons Paul and Stephen for their encouragement, interest and help. Grandson Milo at 4 now knows all about pilgrim shells. And granddaughter Lily at 8 months has far more important things to think about. To my chaplain, the Reverend Mary Buchanan, she brought her own deep, practical spirituality, her supportive gifts to these years, and I'm deeply thankful. My personal assistant at Church House, Christina Pullen, who has fixed no end of details and arrangements for me. And to you, the General Assembly, for electing me to be its moderator, proving once again that the United Reformed Church is still in the business of taking risks. But most of all, I offer my personal thanks and praise to God, who has shown yet again how to make something out of nothing, as this immediate past moderator is thankful to testify. Amen and hallelujah. Thank you, my friend.